everyone should know about. So, okay, guys, hey. Can you hear me now? Yeah, so it was so nice you want to hear it twice. Guys, thanks for joining us here because I got to tell you what, Tintin is just about the cutest thing I have ever seen. And it is a squirrel that is a pet. Now, this does not typically happen, but there were some very special circumstances that landed, and I do mean literally landed, Tintin into the hands of Deacon Anderson and his family in Denmark. And now, if you just, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, Tintin is an internet sensation, and you can see why, because he's just about the cutest thing you've ever seen. Okay, so bringing in now, I want to go ahead and talk to Deacon Anderson, the beloved father of this red squirrel that you can see all these videos. He's taken them along with his family. So, Deacon, we appreciate you joining us all the way from Denmark today to tell us more about Tintin.
Oh, hello. He's just getting a little snack.
What kind of snack?
He likes chewy nuts.
Okay, how about it? Enjoy his favorite. Okay, first of all, you've got Tintin on one side, and you've got a painting of Tintin on the other side of your shoulder. Is that true?
Yeah, that's from one of his biggest fans.
I love Tintin's fans. His fan base, we're talking about some serious fans here. How did Tintin come to be in your family? Because it's actually kind of a sad story.
Well, he fell down into my garden about 2.5 years ago and got very badly injured, but I didn't notice that right away, so I backed away and waited for the mother to come and collect this little baby squirrel. But she came down and she took a look at him and probably decided he was done for. So she left again to turn her attention to the rest of her kids. So I couldn't bear that, so I went out to him, and then I could see that he was bleeding out of his chest and had a big gash all the way down his chest. And he was, of course, unconscious. So I brought him in and called the wildlife preservation and the vets and what else was open at the time. It was pretty late in the afternoon. But I got a hold of some. They guided me to help
get him some help. Yeah.
Until the vet had opened the next day. Well, I did the best I could with what I had at home. And then we waited. I also placed him in the hands or the paws of my former cat, Coco, which was a very loving cat.
And it's one of those things, you would think that cats typically go after squirrels, but clearly Coco didn't do that.
No, I already knew her. Her brother always came home with dead birds and other cadavers, and she would steal it from him and chase him off, and then she would take care of it, even though it was long gone.
Oh, what a sweet cat.
Kind of gross, but it makes the point that I knew that she would be the right one to turn to. So I placed him with her, and immediately she started washing him and cuddling him and heating him up because the grass was wet and it was freezing outside. So they were cuddling all the night through, and in the morning, first thing we did was to go to the vet, but they couldn't do much. They cleaned the wound and bandaged him, but they couldn't sew him up because the gash was too wide. There was missing a big piece of the skin, so they couldn't sew him up. So I had to clean and wash and rebandage the wound every 4 hours around the clock, simultaneously with milking, giving him milk.
Right out of a bottle, right?
Yeah.
How old was he estimated to be at this time?
He was about 6, 7 weeks old.
It's just a little baby.
Yeah, so he, I gave him kitten milk, kitten replacement milk. A little irony kind of thing, but it worked.
It worked.
And,
you literally nursed him back to health. But he had that little scar, so I understand you needed some way to cover it, and not very many things come in a size extra, extra, extra small that will fit a baby squirrel.
Exactly. The vet gave me a bunch of rolls of gauze to wrap around him, but he ripped that thing to pieces in no time. So I had to come up with some sort of other solution. And the only one I could think of was to take one of my son's old socks and cut some holes in it and put it on him. And
we're looking at pictures of him right now, and I got to tell you, a baby squirrel in a little sweater vest is the cutest thing I've seen today.
Yeah, that's just of course a huge bonus that it has a cute factor, but it did the job, and it kept him from scratching his wound, and it still got air, and it was easy to remove and clean and put it back on, so it did its job.
Okay, so you took care of him, you nursed him back to health, but this is a red squirrel, and they're a species that is protected in Denmark, correct?
Correct.
So how is he still living with you in your home?
Because the wound took so long to heal, almost 6 months, and by the time he was ready to be released, he was completely tame, used to cats, kids, other humans.
Snuggling, as we see in this cute video we're looking at, snuggling with you.
Yeah, he loves to snuggle. He's very curious about new people. He likes to greet new people and all sorts of stuff like that. So I talked to the vet and showed them the videos, and I talked to the wildlife services and stuff like that, and we all agreed that he probably wouldn't survive very long out on his own.
And so he came to be a member of your family. And I was surprised to learn that squirrels, if they are, raised well, and, you don't have the risk of, cars and things, other animals out in the wilderness, they can live 15 to 20 years. Is that right?
That's correct. Actually, my research only said about 10 to 15, but apparently someone broke that record a couple of years ago. So I hope to break this one.
And have Tintin around for the next 20 years. I got to tell you, he's very alert there behind you, and he almost looks to be watching us on the screen as you talk with us. Does he interact with all members of your family? Does he prefer the cats more, the humans more? Who's his favorite? Besides you, because clearly you're the favorite.
Of course, Dad is the favorite, but he likes to play with all of us, both my kids, and now there's only Tiger left, but Coco left us almost a little over a year ago. He passed away, but he likes to explore outside with his half brother Tiger, which isn't home right now. He's finding his own cat life outside.
So whenever you take him out, you put him on a leash, but would he stay with you if he was not on that leash?
Yeah, he wouldn't. He doesn't even want to leave the house if we don't have a leash on. He's pretty intelligent, this little guy. I have my doors and my windows open during the summer because it gets very hot here, and he's not leaving, not without his harness. That's his little safety belt, as someone called it.
Yeah, his little safety belt. And is that more, whenever you go out with him on the leash, is that more so he doesn't scamper away, or so that other things don't scamper toward him?
That's more for his own protection, because he doesn't pay attention to the hawks or the owls flying around here. And cats, obviously, he's aware of them, but he's not scared of them.
He was raised by one of them, so he's not afraid. He doesn't have that fear.
Exactly. He was raised by 2 cats, actually. Yeah, he's curious, and curiosity would kill
the squirrel, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, okay, what would you say he has brought to your family? Because obviously you have saved his life, and what has he brought to your life, having him live with you?
Oh, well, he's brought so much joy and laughter every day. Not a moment goes by where you're doing some human thing and then you turn your head around and then he's doing something goofy or silly or something to just make you laugh. And he's just so darn cute no matter what he does. And yeah, I felt, I had a feeling that I couldn't have that for myself. I had to share it with the world.
And so that's why you created all these sites.
Yeah, I had to share it and with the world, because the world is a pretty dark place at the time, at sometimes, and we all need a little light once in a while.
And Tintin is definitely that light. How many online followers does Tintin have?
Well, he's got a little over 60,000 on Instagram, and then he has some on Facebook and some on YouTube.
So he has plenty of fans. In fact, some of the people that are commenting right now on this Facebook Live that we're doing are saying, I love Tintin. I love to follow him. I follow him on Facebook and on Instagram. So this is, he definitely has fans out there, and they love seeing him. What would you say to someone, you know, if they came across a squirrel that appeared to be injured? In most circumstances, we're told to leave them alone. What would you say if someone came across a squirrel?
Well, it depends on if they already picked it up. It depends if they already picked it up and brought it home. But if it was in the moment, I would probably say back off, let it lay there for a little while, and keep an eye out for dogs and cats and stuff like that. Give the mother a chance to come and collect her baby, so you don't take it away from her. She might sit in the tree and watch you and be cautious of you, and that's why she's not coming down to pick it up. So back off a bit and just give her time to pick it up. Otherwise, if she does take off and you see her shooting across the trees, then take it up and immediately keep it warm. They're not very, if they're small, they're not, they haven't developed their ability to control their body temperature yet. So keep them warm, wrap them inside your shirt or something like that until you get home, and immediately call wildlife services in your area. There are websites and stuff like that all over the world with the wildlife services. Unfortunately, sometimes most of these services are non-paid labor, so they are often very understaffed, which was the case with Tintin, and they didn't have enough manpower to feed him and nurse him every 4th hour around the clock. They simply didn't have manpower for it.
So you became the foster parent.
Exactly.
Deacon, we cannot thank you enough for joining us, and I mean, thank Tintin. I know he is a celebrity and has people barking down his door at all times trying to get his attention. So thank Tintin for taking the time to chat with us. He is absolutely, obviously, a special part of your family. And thanks for bringing the joy to the internet, a little bit of a light spot. We need it sometimes.
Exactly.
All right, thanks so much. And you guys, thanks so much for joining us on Facebook Live to learn more about this red squirrel who has brought so much light into so many people's lives, not just Deacon Anderson and his family, but people all around the world as they follow him on social media. So look for him. Search for Tintin the Squirrel on Instagram, on Facebook. You'll find him. See you next time.